to make sure you check out HawkeyeSports.com, which is always a very important place. But you can check out BTN.com, too, and get really good coverage of Iowa as well. Thrilled to have the guys with us. Nate, Parker, Matt, thanks a lot for joining us. Let's start with this. Kirk Ferentz is on the verge of becoming the winningest coach in Iowa history. As you guys probably know, passing Hayden Fry needs one more win. I'm going to work my way down. Why don't I start with you down here, Matt? What makes Kirk Ferentz such a great coach and a great fit for Iowa?
If you just see the level of consistency that he's had over the years, I mean, if you look at film from the 2000s, early 2000s, you see a lot of the same characteristics of the teams, like the tough, gritty, just grinded out sort of teams that have just been a characteristic of Coach Ferentz.
How about from your point of view, Parker?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what Coach Ferentz brings, is his consistency and his stability. And not only throughout the years, but each and every day with each team. He shows up, he's coaching fundamentals, he's coaching technique each and every day. And that's what kind of forms his identity as a coach and the teams he puts on the field.
Nate?
Yeah, agree with them 100%. I think he's got the fans behind him, and, we love playing for him. And, obviously the athletic department and everybody has his back and has their trust.
The identity of this program seems so tied to him, but yet he is such an unassuming kind of guy when you're around him. How do you kind of connect those two, this notion that he has created this incredible success story and yet seems kind of so modest about it?
Yeah, I think it really comes back to what he preaches to us every single day. Just go about your work and really just do what you're supposed to do all the time. So, he preaches that to us all the time and, lives it himself.
Let's talk a little bit about this team. And Parker and Matt, I want to talk to you guys first about the defense. Josie Jewell's gone, Ben Neiman's gone, Bo Bauer gone. All gone from that defense. So how does that change things for you guys in terms of your leadership roles and where the focus of the defense is going to be?
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. The D-line, that's what we're trying to improve on going into camp here, is our leadership role within the defense. We're not going to ask any more of anything else. Coach Ferentz has been running the same defense here for years. It's successful. It's something we believe in. So we're going to stick to that. But as far as leadership goes and setting the tone for everybody, that's something we're looking to grow in up front.
What do you think of that, Matt?
Yeah, if we elevate our role as a defensive line and eat up those blocks and let those linebackers run free, it's going to allow them to develop as players and kind of free them up a little bit and just help out the defense as a whole. If we get to the quarterback a little bit quicker, we're going to help out the secondary. So we can affect the game in many aspects as a defensive line.
And, of course, the beauty of this sport is when one guy moves on, there's the opportunity for others to step in. You saw that last year with yourself. I mean, we came in, we were sitting here last season with Coach Ferentz talking about the quarterback spot, who was going to be. He said, I really don't know at this point. And you stepped in and had a really good year. So how does your perspective change from being the quarterback who's battling for a spot and trying to solidify their opportunity to be the starter to now the guy who heads into camp as the unquestioned leader?
Yeah, I think the perspective doesn't really change as far as the work ethic goes. You want to prepare every single day as if you're competing against somebody for that starting job. As far as a leader goes, I think I feel a lot more comfortable in that position, being a lot more comfortable in asserting myself in, certain situations as far as asking the receivers to do certain things on and off the field. So, just a lot more comfortability with the offense as a whole and being a leader.
What was the biggest thing you learned in that first year as a starter?
Really just kind of be even keel as much as you can and really make sure that you keep your emotions in check, because everybody is watching you, and you have to be the even keel leader out on the field to make sure that everybody else performs as well.
Matt, you tore your labrum in your bowl game. Give me an update on where you stand physically.
I feel great right now. It's probably the best I felt in years going into camp. So shoulder's all good, so ready to roll.
Now, when you're a pre-med student and you have a medical ailment, do you self-diagnose? Did you know it was a torn labrum as soon as it happened?
Not right away, but I knew something was wrong, and after the evaluation from Dr. Wolf and his team, I kind of asked a little bit more questions than probably the average person would about, hey, what'd you see here? Like, why is this like this? I just asked about MRI results and everything like that.
What area of medicine are you most interested in?
Orthopedics and neurosurgery.
Okay. And how'd the MCAT go this summer?
Hopefully it went well. I don't get the test scores back for another week, so fingers crossed.
How does one compare the level of stress of the MCAT with the level of stress of playing a Big Ten football game?
It's pretty stressful, both environments. It's just kind of a different kind of mentally draining kind of stress versus a physical stress. So it's just stressful in either regard.
Parker, you were nominated. We were talking about this at the kickoff luncheon today for the AFCA Good Works team. Congratulations on that. It's about volunteer work in the community, and I know it's something you're really involved in Iowa City. What's been the most rewarding part of that for you?
Yeah, thanks. I think it just stems from our coaching staff. We put a lot of emphasis on community involvement in the off season, and guys, they spend a lot of time at the Children's Hospital, in local schools, reading Play 60 stuff. So it's something that we kind of revel in the opportunity to do and to give back.
What's the most memorable experience you've had as part of that?
A lot of guys kind of develop a relationship, or maybe people from their hometown or something, our children who are in the hospital. So you get the opportunity to go visit the same people repeatedly and kind of build a relationship with them, and you go through the highs and lows that they have. So I think some of those relationships with kids going through stuff like that have been the most special part.
Nate, we always talk about heading into camp at this time of year, but the truth of the matter is you guys are there in Iowa City. You're working out year-round. I mean, this has changed a lot. It's not all of a sudden you flip a switch and you start camp. What were those experiences like this summer in terms of getting this team physically to where you want to be?
Yeah, I think it's been a great summer so far. Everybody's pushed themselves extremely hard. Coach Doyle always does a great job at getting us ready to play, and we got a couple workouts left when we get back to Iowa City, but then we have a week off and camp starts right away. So I think we're all excited and all happy with where we're at physically.
Let's dive into this offense a little bit. We were talking with Coach Ferentz earlier. Tight end is a major position of strength for you guys. With Noah Fant and TJ Hawkinson, how do you think you can utilize their unique skill sets to move this offense ahead?
Yeah, I really think that we can utilize different personnel groupings to get them both in the game at the same time. Coach Brian Ferris does a great job at scheming up different things. I think a lot of that came out in the Ohio State game last year with some different looks that we threw at them. And, they both pose mismatch problems for anybody that they go up against.
What I think is interesting about this offense in the first year under Brian was you had a few games that were just unreal. I mean, you mentioned the Ohio State game, and you had 3 games where you scored 45 or more points against conference opponents, and yet then you had 6 where you didn't hit 20. So we were talking about this a little earlier with Coach Ferentz. I'm interested in your perspective as the quarterback. How do you achieve the level of consistency where game in and game out, you're going to come out and be firing on all cylinders?
Yeah, I think it all stems from practice. We as leaders of the team have to hold each other accountable in practice to prepare at that same standard that we did when we played Ohio State and Iowa State and teams like that. So really just build that consistency in practice, and then it'll transfer over into the games.
Parker, we were talking about the offseason and some of the things you guys did to pass the time. I need to know about the rat trap. I saw a story about the rat trap. Now, this is a Winnebago that you guys...
Ford Coachman.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a different brand.
I mean, yeah.
In the Winnebago family. The same type of... but this is better. It's the Ford Coachman. Here it is. This is the rat trap. It looks really... I mean, that looks like a high-end mobile there.
That's exactly what it is.
How much did you guys spend on that?
I think the original offer was like $500, and since then we've put in probably that again and trying to restore it and kind of clean it up.
What year is that from?
1976.
Oh, my gosh. So what went into trying to restore? Is anyone good mechanically with cars?
Ex-player, he just graduated this last year, Jake Hewlett, and offensive lineman Jake Newberg probably headed up the kind of the restoration process. But yeah, it was all hands on deck when we got it, and we had a lot of fun cleaning it up.
Now, who are the guys who are part of the rat trap?
So it's mainly defensive linemen. So Jake Hewlett, Jake Newberg, Sam Brinks, Anthony Nelson, John Milani, Garrett Jansen, and Brandon Snyder.
You didn't want any part of this? You're studying?
No, I'm smart. Not going to invest in that.
And where have you guys taken it? What are some of the trips that you've taken?
We've taken it to Dubuque. We've taken it to Okoboji for Drew Ott's wedding. We've taken it to Cedar Falls for a weekend. during our bye week last year, we took it camping one night. We had an off day the next day. So we just drove out to Coralville to a campsite. But, yeah, we have a lot of fun.
Well, it looks like it must drive like a dream, right? I mean,
it handles well. Yeah, I mean.
All right. Well, that's pretty good stuff. Very, very fun to see. The coaches are cool with you guys driving around in this thing. No issues.
None that I know of. So.
Okay. All right. I mean, I noticed the steering wheel was kind of upside down, so I thought maybe that might be a little bit of a concern.
I think that's how it was made. I don't.
Have they taken you around in this?
I have not been in it, no.
But you're familiar with its legend.
Yes, I've seen it, and I know the story, but I don't know if I'll ever get inside of it.
All right. To penetrate the rat trap. Final thing for each one of you guys. We all know that now 2 years ago, obviously, it was Iowa that was there in the Big Ten championship game, but Wisconsin certainly has overall kind of had a little bit of a stranglehold on the West. How do you become that team that challenges them?
I think we just really have to set our standards a lot higher than they have been in the past, and as leaders on this team, we have to hold each other accountable.
Yeah, I think just to echo what Nate said, it's not trying to do something new or different or too cute, but sticking to who we are and what we believe in as football players and as people, and keeping that standard high.
Matt?
Just trusting the coaches and executing the plan, and just to the best of our ability, and see where we can go from there.
All right, fellas, ton of fun to visit with you. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Enjoy the trip back. I take it you're not taking the rat trap back from Chicago. That would be a real adventure, driving that thing on the city streets. I would like to see that.